Hello, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are. It's me, TK, your coach on the rocks, and welcome to TK Coach on the Rocks, my live show that I try to broadcast every day. Um, Interestingly, yesterday you had a lot of comments for me, a lot of personal messages. Thank you so much for um, responding and engaging. I had some lovely conversations, and I will reply to you all. So, by the way, if you want to say hi today, just drop me a note over here on the comment, or maybe message me personally, or just give me a like or whatever emoji you feel like, depending on what I'm talking about. Today, I'm actually talking about resistance to agile. Yes, a controversial, divisive, and dare I say, a difficult topic. Um, just because we have agility as our main business service in Humble Associates. We are the ones that help companies get into agility. Now, what happens if a client, an organization brings us in, but there are teams that actually resist this process or just chase us away? Which is something that has been happening for me lately with one of the teams we're helping. So today I've asked the facilitator of the team, because I was unfortunately lost late and I couldn't get to their review event. And I thought, okay, so I asked the person, how did it go? And they said, yeah, it went fine. And I asked, what was the tangible outcome from this iteration? And the person said, well, we've produced a PowerPoint deck. And you know me, I hate my PowerPoints. So I was a bit moved by that. But on the other hand, I thought, well, I know that this team isn't necessarily that on board with the concept of the agile value delivery. Just from the point of view that they chose a business change, or they're working on a business change that's maybe a bit difficult to implement and deliver in a valuable way using this method of work. And the old me would be like, oh no, you have to do it. There's an intervention. I'll come in and ask you some coaching questions. When is your retrospective so I can bomb you there and come on and tell you what you're supposed to do. But nowadays, I don't think this way. Obviously, or not. It's because I think that if agility is valuable, it will definitely show its value to people sooner rather than later. So instead of chasing them, instead of constantly evangelizing, I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. Look, as much as you deliver value, that's fine. As much as you're a productive team, that's fine. Here's some practices. I know you're experimenting with them, and I know you're doing a bunch of them. So that's okay. And I think that this team may get round to actually applying it more and more in terms of this agile way of thinking. Yes, you might say they're shortchanging the organization because they would be able to deliver better value. They would be able to optimize what they're doing even further if they applied the agile style of thinking. That's perfectly fine. Maybe I don't like the short-changing aspect of it, but what I do think is if the team is productive and the team is really passionate about delivering value, everything should be fine. It will resolve itself. Either they'll choose or get different problems to work with, or gradually, if they find there's a reason, they will embrace this philosophy of work. I remember when I was at the uni, I asked my physics professor when she was talking about various substances. I said, well, wouldn't these two substances react? And she said, yes, if it makes sense energetically, which is actually how chemistry works. They combine or do other things if there's a physical reason, energetical reason to do so. And this inspires me to this day, I'm not necessarily a chemist, although I do use paints to paint my Warhammer miniatures, and I need to know what solvent I'm supposed to use and things like that. But what's really important is if it makes sense, it will happen sooner rather than later. I think and a role of a facilitator, of a coach, of a guide or mentor is there to not necessarily catalyze the process, but maybe show that there is waste and show that things can be done differently. Give them an option and don't be afraid if they turn their backs and walk away. It's like with retail. You can't expect every client to buy something when they walk through your doors. But if you provide a good service, if the goods and services that you're selling are valuable, they will come back and buy something. And I think that's the motto. So again, you might remember one of my previous episodes when I talked about Shuhari and how I'm not a huge fan of it. I think this is a follow-up, which is it's okay. It's perfectly fine if you don't necessarily as a team feel like this is the right way for you. If it will be, I'm here to help you. And I'm here to help you too. So if you're interested in Agile methodologies, next week we have the Agile 101 and we're talking about Agile methodologies. This is actually, we had quite a few episodes and we never really covered them. There were so many basic things to talk about. And by the way, these episodes are recorded. So Humble Associates / Agile 101 will bring you to the LinkedIn Live event and you'll be able to see it. There's much more happening. We have a Agile Humble Breakfast Jam on Friday morning with Tariq. Again, Humble Associates / jam. Nice strawberry piece of jam, hopefully not too sweet. I'd love to see you Friday morning and I'd love to see you tomorrow. Take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.